Please welcome Jorge Escalante.
Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. I'm really excited that I see a lot of familiar faces from the last couple of days. I've been talking to a lot of sellers, and I'm just really glad that you guys made it here. If you're joining virtually, equally as happy to have you here. My name is Jorge Escalante. I'm a product marketing manager for Amazon, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about how you can offer faster delivery promises and not have to pay for faster shipping. Throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, if you want to grab your cell phone, enter your app, and inside the app for Accelerate, if you just scan that QR code, you'll be able to submit questions. We'll be taking them after the session and then 15 minutes outside afterwards. We're going to talk about three things today. The first of it is how you set your customer delivery promise. And what is your customer delivery promise, why it matters to buyers, and why it should matter to you as well. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the research that our science team has done that shows that faster delivery leads you to more sales. And then the good news is, offering faster delivery doesn't necessarily mean you need to pay for faster shipping. So we're going to talk about a set of features that you can enable for your business with a couple of clicks. I'll walk you through them, and ultimately how they can help improve your business by setting more accurate delivery promises. First of all, let's dive in with what is the delivery promise. This is the set of days or the specific day that a buyer sees when they're shopping online for when you've indicated to them that they're going to receive their product. So this is an important date for them because they're trusting that they're going to get their product on this particular day. But how is this calculated? There's a couple of pieces that build this up. The first is your handling time. Your handling time is the amount of days from when you receive an order until you hand it over to your carrier. It's important to note that weekends and holidays don't count in your handling time, so they can extend your delivery promise a little bit unless you've switched your weekends on. And we'll talk a little bit about how to do that in just a second. Your handling time is typically what's mostly in the control of a seller. The second part is the transit time. This is the amount of days from when you hand an order over to your carrier that it takes them to deliver it ultimately to the end customer. And this is the part that is typically the longest portion of the delivery promise. And to protect the customer experience in case there's any weather issues or there's any issues with a particular carrier, or if a seller's had poor performance in terms of delivery, we add padding towards the end. Occasionally we add a day or so to basically protect the delivery promise and make sure that when a buyer's shopping online, they know they can trust the delivery date to be accurate. So where do customers see the delivery promise? It is from the start to the end present in their journey shopping on Amazon. They'll start with their search page, they type in the product they're looking for, and they're going to see there immediately a list of products that might fit their search requirement, and they're going to see a date or a date range for when they can get their product. So it starts right at the beginning from their search page. Then they click on the product they want, they found it, again on the detail page when they're learning more about the product that you're selling. They're going to see it one more time. What is the delivery date they're going to expect to get the product by based off of the settings that you have configured? And last but not least, they're going to get to the checkout, and they have a final opportunity to see if this is the product they want and if the delivery date meets what they are expecting. So as you can see, from start to end throughout their journey, it's an important factor, and it's important in making their decision. Do I purchase or do I abandon cart? So it's important for you guys to think about setting the most accurate delivery promise here so that you ultimately don't extend a promise that makes your offer unattractive. If you're a seller, you see this promise delivery date in a couple of places. If you're using Seller Central, it's in the Manage Your Orders page. Every single order will have a date, a deliver by date. If you're using other platforms to manage your orders or APIs, every order you receive in those platforms will also show an expected delivery date that you have configured. If you decide to use Amazon Buy Shipping to purchase your shipping label, again, you're going to see the promised delivery date that you have configured there. So it's present not only for buyers, but it's also present for you because that is a commitment you have made with that buyer for when they're going to get their product. And it's important to fulfill it. At the end of the day, getting it to them exactly when they expect it is an important part of a delightful shopping experience. So why does faster promise matter? What we found is that if you set shorter promises, it first of all improves your likelihood of having your offer featured, also known as winning the buy box. It helps you receive more product views. So it's going to help you drive more traffic to your page and to your product so that ultimately more people, you're getting more eyeballs on it. Then, if you have a faster delivery promise, it's also going to help you increase your sales conversion. So your sales conversion is from the moment they are checking out your product on the detail page until they're adding it to the cart and fulfilling a purchase. All of this translates to setting a shorter delivery promise helps you sell more. And we're going to talk a little bit about the features that you can help set up, that you can get set up, and how much more they can help you sell. So here's the good news. You guys are doing pretty good at getting products to customers relatively quick. Some of you guys are doing fantastic, but that does not mean there's not an opportunity here. Because what we found is that if we compared your configured delivery promise, the inputs that you've put to create your delivery promise, versus your actual delivery, what we found is you guys are doing much better than you're telling buyers. And for the person that's searching online for your product, looking up the next product that they want to buy, they might see a delivery date that maybe isn't as appealing as it could be. By shortening it or setting it more accurately, you don't change the way your business operates. All you're doing is just telling them a more accurate reflection of what you're capable of doing and your carriers are capable of doing. The gap between the configured delivery promise and the actual delivery time is about 45% in the US for domestic sellers. So what that means is a lot of sellers are getting products much faster to the door of their customers. And sure, on the surface, that sounds like an okay experience, right? Like, I'd rather get them early. But again, if you think of your future purchases, customers looking at your product and seeing a long delivery promise, how many times have you abandoned cart just because that product is not going to arrive by the day I need it, or I could get it faster somewhere else? So we asked our science team, how much more can sellers make if they shorten their delivery promise? And so we reached out to Phil Kaminsky. He's our senior principal scientist. He has got a pretty extensive background, PhD in Northwestern University. He's an emeritus professor at Berkeley for quite a substantial amount of years. In summary, Phil's a smart guy. And he helped us solve this problem. He helped us look into it and know exactly how much more you can make with the set of features that we have available for you guys. What we found is, if you enable the set of features that we're going to talk through today, you're able to get on average 8% more sales conversion without changing the way you fulfill orders, without changing your carriers, simply by setting a more accurate delivery date. That is just the sales conversion. There's also, as I mentioned earlier, more traffic coming to your page, so this leads to even more sales as well. So let's break it down. I'm going to talk about handling time first, a set of features that will help you set more accurate handling time, and then I'll talk about transit time in a bit. As it comes to handling time, there's these 5 features, and I'll walk you through each one of them so that you know how to set them the most accurately for your business. The first one is default handling time. You have 3 options on your account. You can set it to 2 days, 1 day, and most accounts are set to 1 day by default, or you can set it at same day. Every time I talk to sellers, I always get the question, what's the difference between 1 day and same day? They sometimes sound kind of similar, so I'll walk you through it. For same-day default handling time, this applies again to the majority of your orders. What you have is, let's imagine this hypothetical scenario where you receive an order on a Monday and you receive it before your cutoff time. So your cutoff time is by default set to 2 p.m., but you can edit it if you prefer a different cutoff time. Let's say I receive this order at 10 in the morning. By having it at same day, you are committing to sending this product to the carrier on that same day. But if the order comes in after your cutoff time for, let's say, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., you have until the next day to fulfill it. So with same-day handling time, you can get all of those early orders that you receive in the morning out fairly quick, while knowing that you can take it, well, not take it easy, but you can have a little bit more time to fill in the next day after your cutoff time. And again, your cutoff time is editable, so you can change it from 2 p.m. to whatever you like to set it for. With 1 day, similar scenario, no matter at what time in the day you receive that order on a Monday, you have until the next day to fulfill it. Now, some sellers often ask me, well, 1 day, does that make a difference? Is that a big deal? I'd like you to think about 1 day handling time when it comes to a Friday. Any person browsing your product on a Friday, if your weekend operations are not enabled, 1 day jumps until Monday. So the difference between same-day handling time for someone browsing your product on a weekend is actually quite a few more days than just the 1 day difference. So again, that can make a pretty big impact on you shortening your delivery promise and setting it to what you're most comfortable. So default handling time, again, think about that for the majority of your products. You might have exceptions, and we'll get to those in a second, but the majority of your products, how fast can you go? And we'll talk about features to help you feel more comfortable going fast too. Precisely that's why we invented order handling capacity. Well, once you switch to faster handling time, you also want to protect your business from surges of orders. It may be that a holiday season's coming. It may be that a new fad on TikTok suddenly got your product booming and you're starting to get a bunch more sales. Whatever it is, order handling capacity can protect you from that order surge. The way this feature works is you set a limit for how many orders you can manage on your default handling time. So for example, let's say I set it to 80 orders a day. What happens when I reach the 81st order is you get an extra day of handling time. And buyers will, at that point, once you've managed 80 orders in that day, will see the delivery promise extended one further day out. So in this scenario, again, my first 80 orders, I have 1 day handling time to fulfill them. And for my 81st order onwards, I now have an additional day. So this, again, protects you from getting a wave of orders, an order surge, and ultimately helps you ensure that you're protecting your late shipment rate by managing exactly how much your business can take in a given day. To set these two features up, first of all, at the end of the presentation, we're going to share a QR code so you can download the slides. Feel free to take pictures if you like. I'm going to walk you through the screenshots of how to set these two features up. If you want to pull them up and follow along, you'll be able to set these up with a matter of clicks on your Seller Central account, even on your mobile. So the first thing you want to do is go to your general shipping settings. Once you're there, you can scroll down to the section that says handling time. And you'll see a button that says edit. Once you click on that, you'll see the two features I just discussed. The default handling time, again, same day, 1 day, or 2 days, and below your order handling capacity, where you can input a number for how many orders your business can manage in a day. Now, default handling time applies to the majority of your orders. What about the exceptions? And so that's why we have SKU-specific handling time. SKU-specific handling time is for a particular product, you're going to override your default. So the majority of my products, maybe I can fulfill them in 0 days, but I have this one product, maybe it's a little trickier, maybe I need to engrave it, maybe it's a little difficult to package, whatever it is. If it takes longer, ultimately what you can do is say, for that particular SKU, I want my handling time to be a little bit extended. Also, if your default handling time is maybe 2 days, maybe there's a handful of products that you fulfill even faster. So for those products, you might want to set your SKU-specific handling time even shorter. So again, SKU-specific handling time overrides your default. So this is how you can manage the exceptions to the rule that your default doesn't cover. And so when we talk to sellers, they often tell me, well, I don't know what to set my SKU-specific handling time for all my products. Or, hey, some sellers tell me I have 10,000, 100,000 SKUs. I'm not going to go through them one by one. Well, you can, and we'll walk you through how to do it, but then I'll talk to you about how to set this up even faster and smarter. So for SKU-specific handling time, what you want to do is, if you want to do this one by one for your products, go to Inventory and manage your inventory. Then select the specific product that you want to edit, and on the right side, you can click Edit. There's a couple of tabs there. You want to click on the Offer tab, and as you scroll down, you're going to see a section that says Handling Time. And that's where you can input the number of days for this particular SKU. If this seems like you don't want to go through it one by one, you have a lot of ASINs, you can also do this on our Inventory Loader tool, which basically you download an Excel, you get all of your inventory in a single Excel, you put in the column on whatever number you want for each product, and you re-upload it. So you can do it in mass. But that doesn't solve the problem of how do you set this to the most accurate number? And that's why we invented automated handling time. This feature helps you, with one click, set the most accurate handling time for every one of your products, based off of how well you are already performing. What it does is, it looks at your history for every one of your products, and let's say you have a product that you're very fast at fulfilling, it will set your handling time for that product to that amount of days. If you have a product that's slower, it will automatically look at your history and set it to that number as well. Let's put an example. Let's say you have these teddy bears that are packaged and ready to go in your warehouse. There's nothing to do. The order comes in, you just give them to the carrier that same day. If your actual handling time is probably for something prepackaged, close to same day. You could get it out as soon as an order comes in. But if you had manually configured that to being 2 days, you're over-promising, and that makes your offer less attractive to buyers. So by enabling automated handling time, for that SKU, it's going to set it to same day as well. So that way, it's setting it to the most accurate, and that likely leads to more sales. But the opposite can happen too. What if you have this vase that every time it comes in, you need to actually, build it, piece it together, put it in the oven maybe, even get it engraved, whatever it is, it takes a little bit longer to actually prepare and package. If your actual handling time for that product might be 4 days, if you had set it to 3 days, you're at risk of late delivery every time, of late delivery and late shipment for that product. So again, by setting automated handling time, it's going to help you set it to the most accurate number based off of how you're performing already. So it's going to learn from what your business does. If your business starts to get faster, it's going to learn with you and set it to that faster number. You don't have to revisit this setting for each SKU every single time. Last of all, as it relates to handling time, we talked about weekends not counting as business operating days. You can enable them if your business is operating on those days and if you have carriers that deliver on those particular days. The impact here is, let's say you have an order coming in on a Friday. As I mentioned earlier, if the weekends are switched off, your handling time starts to count as of a Monday. So by enabling Saturday, Sunday, or both, you can cut your delivery promise by up to 2 days. And also, I'll give a shout out if you haven't visited our team over downstairs at Amazon Shipping. They've just released a new ground shipping service that fulfills orders on the weekends as well. So go talk to them as well. This might be a good combination as you think of enabling your weekend operations. To do that, go to your general shipping settings and scroll down to the section that says Order Fulfillment Settings and click Edit. When you're there, on the left side, there's Weekend Operation Settings. And what you can do is you can enable Saturday and change it from no pickup to pickup. You can change Sunday, or you can change both. And that will now cut your delivery promise for those weekends. So ultimately, as we talked about for handling time, more accurate handling time, what we found in the US is it's typically shorter. You guys are managing your products faster than you're telling customers, and that's great that you're managing them that fast, but you can get a lot of benefits out of telling them. So by shortening it, all you're doing is running your business the exact same way, handling products, but now your delivery promise is suddenly a lot shorter. What we found is that sellers who optimize their handling time get on average 3% more sales simply by switching on some of these settings and adjusting their configurations. And that's sales conversion. So on top of that sales conversion, there's also, like I mentioned earlier, more traffic coming to your pages. So your net sales is actually even more than that 3%. So now let's talk about the other half of the equation, transit time. We have one feature available for you called Shipping Settings Automation. Some of you may have heard of this. We launched this about a year ago. And what's really cool is we have some new enhancements that were released this week to it. So if you've heard about Shipping Settings Automation, or as we call it, SSA, bear with me, I'll talk about the new stuff. But for those who haven't heard of SSA, let me start from the beginning. What SSA does is it sets your delivery promise to a more accurate date. And how does it do that? It uses 4 considerations. You tell it where your warehouses are located, and then we know every time a customer is shopping online where they're ordering from. So we know point A and we know point B. After that, you tell Shipping Settings Automation, what are the shipping services that you like to use today? It's not gonna force you to use something you're not used to. You're gonna continue to use the same shipping services you are accustomed to using. And ultimately, it's gonna create the most accurate delivery promise because we have millions of data points from shipment for that particular ship method from point A to point B. So we are able, based off of all of that data, to consolidate it and make a more accurate delivery promise. And the fourth thing, we just launched this week. Once you pick your ship methods, it's really important, even if you've already switched on Shipping Settings Automation before, go back to your shipping templates. Because in the past, what Shipping Settings Automation would do would say, if I have these 5 ship methods that are my preferred ones, it would pick the slowest of them to make the delivery promise. And that helps reduce your delivery promise gap. It improves it. But you can go even further with our new capability on Shipping Settings Automation to configure different rules. You're able to configure rules for your different price points. You're able to configure rules for your different weight of products. And you're able to configure rules for the different geographical zones. I'll show you an example in just a second. To set up Shipping Settings Automation, go to your shipping settings on the right-hand menu. Then you have 2 options. You can edit existing template, or you can create a new shipping template, either way. And you're gonna notice a toggle that says Shipping Settings Automation. You wanna flip that on, and that's gonna walk you through the steps I described earlier. You'll just see them a little bit more visually. The first step, it's going to ask you which warehouses do you want to enable. You can have one, you can have many warehouses. Ultimately, it's going to use the closest one to the buyer to create a delivery promise. Then, as I mentioned earlier, select the different ship methods or shipping services that you're accustomed to using right now. And as I mentioned earlier, there's 3 ways actually that we'll prioritize these. The default, it's going to pick the slowest one, the most conservative one. Even with the most conservative one, what we've seen is that sellers in the US reduce their delivery promise and get more sales. But you can now even enhance that, as I mentioned. So the next way you can sort them and prioritize them is manually. You can drag and drop and reorder them in whichever one you want. If you drag, for example, Amazon Shipping Ground to the top of the list, as long as that first shipping service can deliver to the customer's location, we're going to use that to create the delivery promise. If it physically can't make it to that customer's door, we will then pick the next one to make the delivery promise. And the third one, the new one, the exciting one, for you guys to set up your shipping setting rules. As I mentioned, you can create different combinations of conditions. Here's an example. If my item weight is between 0 and 10 pounds, and the price is between $0 and $20, I want to use Amazon Shipping Ground. But if the item price is more than $20, I want to use maybe another shipping service. And so you can use up to 2 of these conditions to create the most accurate rules for your business. Similarly to handling time, when you optimize your transit time, it helps you create a more accurate delivery promise, which is typically shorter. And the exciting part, the killer stats, what we found is that sellers who enable shipping settings automation get up to 7%, on average 7%, more product views to their pages, so you're getting more traffic. It helps increase your sales conversion by 5%, and ultimately, with a couple of flips to the different features, you get up to 10% more units sold without changing the way you run your business, without shipping with faster carriers, really without doing anything different other than setting more accurate delivery promises. So just to recap, faster delivery promises matter to buyers. They're present from start to finish in their journey. You can set more accurate delivery promises, and those are typically faster. And if you start to enable the set of features that we talked about today, those will help you increase your sales without having to actually pay for faster shipping. If you guys are interested and are wondering, do I have a delivery promise gap? Am I over-promising? Is there an opportunity for me? I encourage you guys to visit our booth 530 downstairs. We have a personalized snapshot for your business. We'll look up your business and tell you exactly, among other recommendations for your business, exactly how much of a promise gap you may have, and ultimately what are the specific recommendations tailored to your business for what is the best action that you can switch on. So I encourage you guys to visit us, whether it's today, the remaining part of the day, or tomorrow, and we'll walk you through that snapshot and we'll explain each of these features and exactly what you can do.